must be the greatest. I told the world, I thought the guy ever made. The best ever.
Welcome to the DL Boxing Podcast. I am your host, Coach D, along with co-host neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, where we talk about the sport you and I love, boxing. Welcome, everybody. This is episode 47. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, so happy to be back in the studio. How you feeling, brother?
Likewise, bro. Happy to be back and just battling a couple of work-related injuries, but I'll be back up and running in no time, man.
Oh, man. Well, I hope you heal soon, man, and all the best on that, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. We have a lot of fights to talk about, so let's get to it, guys. It's time to recap the fights that happened this past weekend. But before we do, neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, we want to shout out and put the spotlight on San Antonio's own Daniel Cortez. Earlier in the month, he scored his second round TKO over Carlos Borruel. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, give us a little recap on that fight, brother.
Yeah, just a big fan of Daniel Cortez, man. He has a fan-friendly style, just punches and bunches, man. And I like that he's going to the body, man. He's becoming a master to the body, angles, and sky's the limit, dude. San Antonio should be very proud of this kid, man.
Yeah, headlining already.
Yeah.
Fan-friendly fighter, like you said. Got the stoppage. The fans were clamoring in there. And fantastic victory, Daniel Cortez. Congratulations to you and your
Daniel.
team, man. All right, man. Well, it's time to recap knockout chaos out of Saudi Arabia. Two big heavyweight bouts on that card. The first one was for the WBO. What was it? The WBO interim world heavyweight title, and that fight was between Joseph Parker and Zhilei Zhang. Zhilei Zhang coming off those two big victories over the Juggernaut, right? Where he looked devastating. He made it look easy. Joseph Parker coming off a surprising win over the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder. So this was an interesting clash of styles. A lot of people had it 50-50, and it sure proved to be 50-50. How'd you see that fight, neighborhood?
I didn't have it 50-50, man. If anything, I had it 70-30 Zhang. And
I can see that, absolutely.
I was very disappointed in his performance and very impressed with Parker, man.
Yeah.
You know what? Parker weathered that storm, and, Zhang just was relying on that one punch, man, to hurt him, which he had a couple times, and it just didn't work out because Parker was one step ahead, man, and he battled to the very end, dude. But just brilliant performance from Parker. Zhang needs to go back in that office and study some film and just come back stronger because there is a rematch clause.
There's a rematch clause,
and he definitely needs to do better.
They're going to face each other next.
Yeah.
I like when the commentator said if Zhilei Zhang was a video game character, his power would be a 10 and his stamina would be a 0, which cracked me up, man, because that's exactly what happened in the fight. He was very hesitant.
Yeah, he was.
But to Parker's credit, he kept low, his crouch low, jabbing to the body and straight power shots to the body, which I'm sure emptied a lot of Zhang's tank. But they are rematching.
Yeah, they are.
What are some keys do you think Parker needs to do to come out successful in that fight again? And what are some keys that Zhang needs to do to hopefully return the favor on Parker?
You know what? Honestly, I didn't see too many flaws in Parker. He needs to stick to that sweet science, man, and just keep boxing and moving and just weather that storm, maybe tie up once he gets hurt a little bit.
Right.
But Zhang definitely has to go after it. Definitely go after it the first 2-3 rounds and maybe rest a little bit, but don't ever just
follow him.
Just follow him, press him, man. Press. And I felt like he just gave up sometimes, man. And he was allowing Parker to just build momentum. And he even Parker hurt Zhang a couple of times, which I was like impressed.
Yeah, Zhang had like a poker face, but he felt it.
He felt it, stumbled a little bit.
Yeah.
He was on some wobbly legs too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Zhang needs to just improve that stamina or have that confidence to, hey, even though I don't feel comfortable throwing to Parker when he's crouching low, he just got to unleash or make the adjustment, right? Step back, find a different punch that could connect with Parker, because every time Zhang did connect on Parker was knocked down. He visited the canvas, in which he visited the canvas twice in this fight. But other than in those rounds, it was all Joseph Parker.
Yeah.
He ends up winning the majority decision over 12 rounds and becomes the new WBO interim heavyweight champion. Good fight.
It was a good fight, but a little frustrating and boring for me because I know what Zhang is capable of. You know what I mean? And for him just to not, it seemed like to me, honestly, he wasn't hurt by anything Parker was throwing. Maybe a couple times, but he was too gun shy in my eyes to not just go after it, man. Parker wasn't really throwing bombs. He was mainly just trying to outbox him, but for Zhang to be that gun shy was just confusing to me.
Confusing, surprising, frustrating. Yeah, man. Zhilei Zhang takes his second defeat. This one a little bit more clear. I know the first one with Hrgovic was kind of like it could have gone both ways. But yeah, he definitely needs to go back to the drawing board and just learn to throw different kind of punches, right?
Yeah.
Because not everyone's going to get
cut off the ring better.
Cut off the ring better. Yeah, so Zhilei Zhang needs to improve. Joseph Parker will probably keep doing the same thing and maybe even avoid getting hit with that shot that put him down, and might even win a unanimous decision.
Possibly, man. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, but definitely congratulations to Joseph Parker on the majority decision victory. All right, man. Let's talk about the main event, which was a crossover fight between Anthony Joshua, the former two-time heavyweight champion and Olympic gold medalist, versus Francis Ngannou, who was a former UFC heavyweight champion and had that great performance against Tyson Fury. Last year. And off that Tyson Fury fight, in which many people thought that he should have got the decision, he lands this big fight against Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
And many going into this fight were like, Francis Ngannou is a big hitter. Anthony Joshua doesn't have the best whiskers, you could say. But, I think they were very much downplaying Anthony Joshua's boxing ability and skill, man. Anthony Joshua has been showing a better confidence, better technique under the guidance of Ben Davison. And sure enough, in this fight, he brutally knocks out Francis Ngannou in the second round. Neighborhood hero Ryan Rios. Why don't you touch on that fight a little bit, man?
You know what? What I wanted to happen happened, and what I thought was going to happen didn't happen. And I thought Ngannou would have kind of did the same thing what he did to Fury and hang the whole 12 and just maybe get outboxed a little bit. But I didn't see Anthony Joshua have that dog and just go after him and knock him out in 2 rounds, man. And very impressed with Joshua. And I'm not taking any credit away from Ngannou because I kind of did the last time, but he's game, man. And he had those vicious hooks, dude, that could have put Anthony Joshua down. He was just missing just this close, man.
That first round he came out and second round too. In that first round he established a little dominance, right? Going to Joshua and surprised Joshua with that long jab that something he turned into a left hook.
Exactly.
And he caught Joshua a few times and so Joshua had to think about, okay, how do I adjust to this and how do I keep my range intact to where I'm going to make him miss and counter with that big right hand. I think a point in the first round that I think a mistake that Ngannou made was going to southpaw. And during the last part of that first round, he went southpaw, and that's where Joshua timed him.
Yeah, he caught him.
Because the right hand is like the kryptonite to southpaws, right? And sure enough, touched him on the chin. Ngannou found himself on the canvas. And it just went downhill from there, man.
Yeah.
All the success that he was having in at the beginning of the round against Joshua, the tide turned. Round 2 comes around. Joshua is now controlling the distance, making Ngannou reach with that jab.
Yes.
And as soon as he reached with that jab, he would just move just
Timed
enough
him.
out of the way. Big right hand lands, knocks down Ngannou again. And now in the second round, but this time Ngannou's hurt. He is hurt. You can see it in his eyes, and sure enough, he gets up only to get iced. Joshua goes in with a huge right hand. He just went in there like he was gonna hit a heavy bag, right? And sure enough, nails Ngannou on the chin and then puts him out cold, which is surprising because, like you said, we were expecting Ngannou to be able to take those punches at least for several rounds, right? Because he's never been hurt in the UFC or even put down, and Fury couldn't put it down in him. So Joshua made a big statement with this victory.
He did. And going back to Joshua's trainer, Smith, man, he definitely had that IQ, man. Joshua was always, I'm sorry, Ben Davis.
Yeah, Ben Davis.
He was also, seemed like he was plotting the whole time. He was calculating, man.
Yeah.
He was pawing. He was creating distance, and he was setting up that shot. You can tell.
Beautifully,
And it didn't take him very long,
It
man.
didn't take him long.
Ben Davis is a beast, dude. He has a crazy IQ. He can break down film, and it's just awesome what he did with Joshua, man.
Yeah, they're a great team together. I love what I'm seeing, but props to Anthony Joshua. He showed levels that there's levels to this boxing game. Man. You don't play boxing, and boy, did he make a huge splash.
He did,
ending Ngannou's kind of fairy tale boxing career. But but props to Ngannou, man.
Props to him, man.
Who the heck comes into a different sport and
Yeah.
fight? You know, the top two out of the 3 heavyweights in the world.
Exactly.
And
man.
you know, so Ngannou, man, congratulations to you as well for having the
Go after
the courage.
Andy Ruiz next, man. Go after him.
Right? We still want to see him in boxing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a Chisora or someone, to get your feet wet. Get that, get a W maybe. But congratulations, Anthony Joshua. That was for me already
Awesome,
KO of the
man.
year. I don't know,
man.
I don't know what could beat that this year, but if there is something that beats it, then I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Right. All right, man. Well, it's fight week. All right, man. It's fight week. Saturday, March 16th, DAZN has a main event which features lightweight top contender William Zepeda, who is 29-0 with 25 KOs. He will take on Maxi Hughes, 26-6, 2 draws, 5 KOs. In a 12-rounder, this is an IBF and WBA lightweight title eliminator. So the winner of this becomes #1 contender for the IBF and WBA sanctioning bodies. William Zepeda, his last fight, an impressive 6-round knockout over Mercito Gesta. Hughes' last fight was a close majority decision loss to George Kambosos Jr. What can I say? William Zepeda is just a beast.
Yeah.
He's relentless. He throws punches and bunches, and I think Hughes is up against it. What do you think, neighborhood?
I think the same, man. I'm a big fan of Zepeda, dude. You know what? I don't really know a whole lot about Maxi Hughes other than that Kambosos fight. And I thought it was a competitive fight, but you have to do much better than that to face the likes of Zepeda, man.
Yeah,
because
man.
he's relentless, man. And if Hughes doesn't come in to fight and to win, he's, like you said, definitely up against it, man. And he could possibly get hurt. But Zepeda just has that motor, man, that doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And he's definitely going to look impressive, man. And he should definitely be up for that next title. And like I said, he can go up a couple weight divisions and maybe win a world title.
Possibly, yeah, right.
So this isn't
135,
it. This division is just the start, man. He's going to continue to get better. And man, I feel sorry for Maxi Hughes, man.
Right? Yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see, like you said, I don't see Maxi Hughes with the firepower to keep off the onslaught of Zepeda. I think Zepeda stops him impressively and becomes that #1 contender, man. In a division in which you have now Shakur Stevenson, the winner from Lobachenko, Kambosos. Even Frank Martin and Tank Davis.
Yeah.
So very attractive fights.
Oh, very.
And I hope they do mix it up, man, because William Zepeda deserves it. Obviously, first he has to get through Hughes, which we expect he will.
Yeah.
But do not miss William Zepeda versus Maxi Hughes on DAZN this Saturday night. All right, brother. It's time for another installment of Classic Fights from the Vault. And boy, do we have a banger, man. This fight, I can't believe, I'm ashamed that we haven't talked about this fight sooner,
man.
bro.
Just
this
mega
was
fight,
amazing,
mega
amazing
fight,
fight.
man.
And I'm talking about none other than the fight between Clubber Lang, a.k.a. MRT, Mr. T, versus Roddy Piper. This, of course, happened April 7th, 1986. A little bit of background, brother. Clubber Lang, in 1982, he surprised the boxing world by knocking out Rocky Balboa, becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. The guy was a beast. He was focused for that fight. He just made Balboa look like just a
walk in the park.
Walk in the
man.
park, absolutely. But only to lose it in the rematch immediately to Rocky Balboa, and then from there he disappeared for 4 years, man. And everybody was wondering, where is Clubber Lang? What happened to him? Kind of almost like Andy Ruiz, right?
Exactly, man.
He got that victory and then loses his title in the next fight.
And you don't hear about him.
And you don't hear about him. But to everybody's surprise, this fight was announced. And boy, did it deliver, man.
Gives me goosebumps just you talking about it, man. Like I'm getting goosebumps and chills just you talking about it, man.
Yeah, man. And these were favorites of yours. You were telling me.
Oh, man. They were like superheroes, man. I was only 6 years old and these guys were the best of the best, dude. And for them to collide the way they did was just spectacular.
It was very spectacular. Of course, you had the former heavyweight champion in Clubber Lang versus a WWF wrestling superstar, Roddy Piper. Of course, this happened in WrestleMania 2. Clubber Lang was being trained by the great Joe Frazier. Roddy Piper had the great Lou Duva in his corner.
Yeah, he did.
And man, once they got it on, man, you saw the quality. They both wanted it.
Yes, man.
Let's recap that fight. Round one, Mr. T and Piper meet in the center of the ring, and conventional wisdom says Mr. T, the boxer, is just gonna walk all over Piper, man. But Piper surprised everybody with that long jab, brother.
He did. He was creating distance the whole time, kind of like what Joshua did to Ngannou.
Keeping on the outside, which is crazy. Which is crazy. And nobody saw it coming, but he ends up rattling. Piper ends up rattling Mr. T.
He did, man.
And Priestley had him out on his feet, man. It's man, it's like, whoa. Piper was just full of energy. Like he had drank like 10 Red Bulls or something.
Yeah. I want to say he was an experiment. He was the first guy they tested Red Bull on.
Oh yeah,
he was, bro. That's what I heard.
I think that's what confirmed. Hey, we got the recipe down.
Exactly.
And man, the Piper was amped up. He had no respect for authority.
He didn't, man.
Nothing. Round 1, he corners Mr. T and batters him, man. And as soon as the round ends, Piper still wants to keep on fighting.
Yeah, he did.
He doesn't want to let Mr. T go into the corner. And we're like, what the heck is wrong with this guy? But luckily, the referee was kind of lenient, and we get to see round 2. Round 2, let us know Piper just unloads on Mr. T.
Dude.
Man.
And going into this fight, I had it like a 50-50 fight because, like I said, they were both my heroes. I couldn't see anybody winning. Like, I was just in awe of just the whole, like, just event. The venue was just ridiculous, man. And but man, Roddy Piper impressed me, dude. It seemed like he went out there fast, and that definitely was a benefit because he caught Mr. T off guard.
He did, bro.
You know what I mean? And Mr. T didn't have very many answers, dude. But the thing is, Mr. T boxed, and Roddy Piper, to his credit, he did some dirty boxing, which was huge, man.
Yep.
And whoever was in his corner that night,
Laduva,
which there was plenty of people in his corner. Not only had his back, like coaching him, but they also had his back like with the extra stuff that was going on.
Right.
And I want to say that played a mind game.
They probably encouraged him, hey, keep doing these dirty tricks, because he had Mr. T out on his feet.
Yes,
in
confused.
that second round. If this was a top ranked fight, they would have stopped it like
quick.
Like there would be no like
standing
no doubt about it. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Like
man.
Save his life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this was an era where
this was the 80s, man.
Yeah, this was an era where
golden era, man.
Where you really proved how tough you were, how much you wanted to win in the fight. They let that fight go, man. And glad the ref let it go, because in round 3, Mr. T somehow recovers his rejuvenated powers.
I want to say they snuck him in a Red Bull, dude.
They must.
No, they did.
Right, because the bottle was taped. It kind of maybe sneaked it in. Yeah.
And I remember seeing them crack open something and throw it in there, and that's what pissed off
Piper.
It's
the 80s,
yeah, and Piper got pissed off, and I want to say he threw a stool at him over that.
Maybe that's what he saw. You're right, bro. That was wild. Throwing a stool, and it seemed maybe the ref was kind of maybe looking at the ring card girl. He didn't see it, or else he would have disqualified him there. Yeah. So, but yeah, a rejuvenated Mr. T comes out in round 3 and turns the fight around, turns the tide around, and now has Piper on Bambi legs, dipping in his, kind of slumping in the corner now. And we're like, oh my God, finally Mr. T has arrived. The former heavyweight champion is showing him the levels that it takes to be a boxer. And but somehow Piper shows the toughness, bro. And we were treated to such an awesome round. We couldn't believe it that T mustered up the energy to turn that around, and Piper was out on his feet as well, man.
Yeah, you know what? Piper took some heavy shots, which I gave him. I gave him some credit because, man, I want to say his mouthpiece came out at least a couple times, dude. Mr. T hit him with rights, lefts multiple times, and Piper stood up from that. But finally, man, just those barrage of punches to the body is what I think softened him up.
Yeah,
and that's what put him down. I don't think it was the headshot so much. I think it was the body shots. But man, like I said, it was just a mega event, dude. Crazy venue. And,
that round, dude. That round 3 just reminded me. That round 3, that big left hook that I think Mr. T landed in, and it sent Piper out of the ring, bro.
Remember you're right. You're right,
dude. I was like, holy cow. That's power, man.
That is power, dude.
Yeah, and Piper freaking survives that 3rd round. We are rewarded with a 4th round, man.
Yeah.
This round was probably the best round crossover fight round of all time.
It was.
They're
man.
both just exchanging shots back and forth. You hit me one, I'll hit you back.
Yeah,
you hit
they
me
stood
twice.
toe to toe. They were like, "Hey, you know what? You hit me."
Definition of toe to toe.
Exactly.
Right?
You know that slap boxing where you're able to put your hands behind your back and you get slapped.
Reminiscent.
That's what they did, and I want to say that's where they got that from.
Exactly.
And that was just awesome, dude.
It was,
because
man.
you never see anybody do that anymore. And if you do, people get knocked out like that. But they withstood the punishment.
They withstood it, man. They were like rag dolls in the ring, just like you said, exchanging slaps, punches, everything.
It was amazing, man.
But the twist, guys, is Roddy Piper just somehow loses it mentally. He goes back to what, like you said, he knows best, man. And what is that?
The body slam, man.
The body slam, the wrestling antics. He, out of nowhere, scoops up Mr. T.
He did.
Body slams him. And all chaos breaks loose there.
Just a melee, man.
The corners jump in the ring. They're throwing bottles. They're tossing stools.
It kind of reminded me of when Zab Judah went after the ref after Tim Tszyu got him on Bambi legs.
Right? Wasn't it?
It was Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu hit. I want to say with the left.
Him out and you're right.
He had him on Bambi legs.
And Judah
It reminded me of that, dude.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, actually, that fight reminded me of the Zab Judah fight.
Yeah, and you're right. Zab Judah was also involved in another one with Mayweather, I think, where someone got hit low and Roger Mayweather got in the ring and there was another melee.
So, yeah.
But it was a melee.
It was a melee.
Yeah, and sure enough, the referee actually saw this infraction, and the result was Piper disqualified for the body slam on Mr. T at 115 in the fourth round, awarding the disqualification win to Clubber Lang.
He did.
And Clubber Lang from there rode off into the sunset, bro.
He did, man. And you know what? Like, I remember watching the A-Team, man. I remember watching everything that he did as a kid, dude. And even now, to him doing commercials, and when I think about him, I think of that fight, man. And it's just an awesome fight. And whoever hasn't seen it needs to go watch it, because that was just a treat for us fans, and something I think that we'll never get again.
No,
man.
absolutely
you know what I mean?
not, man. Absolutely not. Not two warriors like that withstanding that type of punishment.
Exactly.
And a ref that's distracted by the ring car girl, you know. So yeah, we'll never.
But even that ref,
again.
I credit the ref. He took some punches, man, and he was in there battling too.
Yeah,
he was
Piper
trying to separate
was very
him.
Disrespectful.
He was, man, and he's the boss in there, man. You know what I mean? And he got treated like a rag doll.
He did, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another Classic Fights from the Vault. I hope you enjoyed this classic. It's a great one, like my co-host said here. Check it out. Fantastic fight. And well, until we do it again, brother.
Exactly, man.
Absolutely. Cool. All right, guys. Well, in this segment, brother, for those fans who have been with us from the very beginning, our beautiful subscribers and followers know that when the DL Boxing Podcast started, it was three of us.
It was, man.
Three buddies that love boxing, that had that common love for boxing. And of course, I'm referring to Bad Chaz, not here with us. I want to salute Bad Chaz as he embarks in a new chapter in his life. You know, I want to wish him and his family nothing but the best. Thank you, Bad Chaz, for taking the time to do this with us and helping the DL Boxing Podcast grow and be what it has become today, man. So I salute you again, and I wish you and your family, again, nothing but the best, brother.
Yeah, I'd like to say just a little backstory, you know, on like how this whole thing started. I remember Bad Chaz, you know, he came over to my house one day and he's like, hey, I was just at Coach D's, and he was talking about us, you know, maybe doing a podcast.
Yep.
And, you know, like I was like, oh, you know, like that's cool. You guys, you know, should do it. You know, I think you guys would be good at it. And Bad Chaz looks at me and he's like, no, it's going to be all three of us. And I just kind of looked at him. I'm like, nah, bro, that's not my style, bro.
Right.
Like, you know, I'm usually the quiet guy in back of the class that never raises his hand. You know what I mean? But so I just kind of left it at that. You know what I mean? But then you text us a while later, I don't know, a couple months later. And, you know, I got the text and I seen it. I'm like, man, these dudes are serious. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I ended up texting Bad Chaz. I'm like, hey, bro, like you and Daniel do this, bro. Like, and, you know, I'll sit on the sidelines, whatever help you guys need. I'll be the guy in the back. You know what I mean? Chaz was like, wasn't having it, bro. And he was like, no, you're going to be in it with us. If you don't do it, I don't do it type of thing. So since he put it that way, I was kind of forced to do it. You know what I mean? Right. And you know what I mean? I ended up doing it. The first episode, man, I had a blast. I've never turned back, dude. And I did something that I didn't think that I had. He brought it out in me, man.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, Bad Chaz. You know what I mean? Like, we're episode 47. You know, we're still going strong, and I'm still having a blast. But again, I wish you nothing but the best, brother. Like, I can't wait to see what the next chapter is in your badass sissy Carolyn's life, because I'm gonna be rooting for you, man. And I love you, man.
Absolutely, brother. Well said, brother. Absolutely. Wait, this just in? We got Bad Chaz.
Ooh,
he wants to sign off, brother. Take it away, man.
Hi, everyone. This is Bad Chaz. Hey, I just want to give a shout out and say thank you to everyone that followed and supported us along the way. This is my time to sign off and let my brothers take care of the rest of it. Just want to say thank you for the opportunity, and the experience was wonderful. And don't forget, you guys make sure to like, subscribe, and follow the DL Boxing Podcast. They got excellent content, and we'll always keep you updated. Thanks, brothers.
All right, brother. Well, that concludes our podcast. Any shout outs you want to make, man?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Christian Cadron, who's been a big supporter, man. A guy that I chat with from time to time, man. He's a day one. I just want to say thanks for the support, man, and stay tuned, because we're gonna have some great guests, man, coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Also want to shout out always sound guy Rob, cameraman Liam. Thank you so much for your help. Thank you guys, our viewers. Thank you for tuning in, and I guess we'll catch them on the next one, right?
Exactly, man.
I am Coach D, along with co-host neighborhood hero Ryan Rios, and we're out.